Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode number. We at 64. It's a Saturday morning. I look a little unkept. That's fine. It was a great hobby day Friday. Um, Recap that. I did get two packages. One was in person trade with Offbeat All Stars. 171 cards. We did a in person trade at the card shop here in town. Uh, and I did get some retail, pulled two Cubs. So my count 499,601. So still cruising and creeping up to that 500,000 mark here as we are 3 days into the month of October. So where to begin? A lot going on yesterday in the hobby for me. So I'll start off with my retail run. During my lunch break, I made a run to a couple Target stores. The first one where the vendor typically stocks in the noon hour. There were four guys waiting, and no sign of him, so I did not stick around. Went to the other Target store he had stocked. There were a bunch of the 2020 Topps complete sets. There was some Topps archives. There was some Allen and Ginter. But I was mainly looking for Panini Chronicles. I was also looking for some football. I wanted to rip some Donruss. And if there were any Mosaic, I wanted to flip the Mosaic. So there was none on the shelf, but there was a signed Seymour cards at the service desk. So they were limiting to one pack or box of each product. So I was able to get one blaster box of Panini Chronicles, one blaster and one hanger box of 2020 Donruss football, and one hanger box of Mosaic football. They didn't have any other Mosaic products. They didn't have any basketball. So I bought one of each there. I did a rip of the Panini Chronicles, pulled a fire Luis Robert, numbered to 75. You can see that break. I broke it live here on my YouTube channel last night. I pulled two Cubs, Javier Baez from Score, and from Unparalleled, Anthony Rizzo. So that is included in my updated count of 499,601 Cubs cards. So then I had a scheduled in-person trade with Offbeat All Stars from Twitter. We were supposed to meet up last Sunday, but I mentioned this in one of my earlier week episodes that my time management skills last weekend were subpar, so I had to postpone our in-person trade. So we met up at the local card shop. I took a couple hours off yesterday afternoon from work. I had to help my wife and mother-in-law with some things, so took a couple hours off in the afternoon, and so I had a little bit of extra time before we met up at 5:30. So there's a Target about a block or two away from the card shop, and this was the Target store that I went to first that had not been stocked. So I had the extra time. I'm driving right by it anyway. There were four guys waiting, so the chances are that there's any product left over, unless they're limiting quantities, slim to nil. So I went in, and wow, as I approached the card section, it was appearing to be pretty full. Now, full of what? It was full of Donruss football. I couldn't believe it. I mean, there were the green parallel hanger boxes, the red parallel hanger boxes, blaster boxes. There were jumbo packs. There were the blister packs. They had a bunch of 2020 Topps complete sets. They had no Panini Chronicles though. But I did buy one blaster box, left a bunch. I bought two each of the hanger boxes, left a bunch. So I think maybe I got good karma for not clearing the shelf, because I pulled some fire. I pulled a CD Lamb not Dominator. I don't know. One of the really rare parallels. Find a blaster box. I wanted to see the odds on whatever that I pulled, because when I looked up pricing, I didn't even sell it on the video. In terms of, in like wrestling terms, sell a move. I didn't like the Luis Robert. I knew what I pulled. But the CD Lamb, I had no idea what I pulled. So it's like, oh, this is a cool card. It was upside down, so I knew it was something special, but I didn't know how special it was. I would have been happy with like $2-3. I did some eBay searching, and the last one sold for $225. So that was pretty cool. I don't find the odd. Does Donruss not print odds on their boxes? This just says features. Huh. There's no odds on this box. What about the hanger box? Same. Interesting. I've never seen a product not have odds. So, all right. So that kills that. Those breaks. So my Panini Chronicles break is in my YouTube channel, and then I separated with the football. I opened all the football with the exception of Mosaic. I have that in my eBay store selling sealed. That Donruss break is on my YouTube channel. So then I met up with Brian, Offbeat All Stars. Awesome dude. We're going to trade again. We're going to meet up again. We had a great time at the card shop. His box contained 171 Cubs baseball cards. 2 of them new to my collection. This 2020 Diamond Kings, Anthony Rizzo, and like the vintage style uniforms from the turn of the century. And this was an awesome card. It appears to be it's definitely a custom. At first I thought it was one of the cards from the Rookies app because they have the 81 Fleer design. But there's a back to it. Same 81 Fleer. Bill Murray, huge Cubs fan. We ain't afraid of no goats shirt. I think this was likely taken at the World Series. I remember him wearing that shirt at the 2016 World Series. It does say on the back 2016 baseball card breakdown. I'm reading it. So that's what the back looks like. Pretty cool. Number 1, Bill Murray rose to fame on Saturday Night Live in the late 70s. Later went on to star in many hit films such as Caddyshack and Ghostbusters. A native of Chicago's suburbs, Murray is a huge sports fan and can be often found cheering on the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Awesome, awesome card. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Cubs count 499,601. So we did the trade in the parking lot, went inside, talked to Jim's card corner. Jim's Card Corner, Madison, Wisconsin. Brian dug through some player boxes and picked up a few Nolan Ryan cards new to his collection. Jim also showed us he had a Nolan Ryan Beanie Baby that was signed. So that was pretty cool. And I asked Jim, he sets up at card shows. He's at the National. He's at the Chicago shows. At the last Chicago Sports Spectacular, he had a booth and he had dime boxes. And I asked him if, do you have these in your shop? Because I've never seen them when I've gone in. And he said, yeah, I don't really advertise it though. So I asked him, I said, hey, do you have any dime boxes? He said, nah, I don't, but I do. What I do is I make junk boxes and I sell them for $20. But I don't let people farm through them. So I'm like, well, is it? And then I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just a bunch of junk wax era that, you can get rid of. So I'm like, is it junk wax? He said, no, actually it's mostly like 2014 to 2016. I'm like, hey, that's 2014 was kind of when I really got back into heavy collecting. So it's always good to have, extra bulk for trades from newer stuff. Because a lot of these boxes are junk wax era for my trades. I don't like to send all, junk wax. So I'm like, well, can I take a look at a couple boxes and just see, because I'm definitely interested. So first box, Um, he showed me, and they're 3-row boxes. So I could tell right off the bat it's Bowman and Topps Heritage. So I'm like, hey, pretty cool. So I have not gone through this. I was going to do a video, but I thought, well, maybe I'll just open a pile live here on Hobby Evolution this morning. So the reason I bought this was the first one he showed me. The second one he showed me actually had like there was like a 90 Don. It was junk. So I'm like, I don't, if there's anything like that, I don't want it. So I took the first box because I kind of leafed through and I saw some Bowman's Best, which I don't have too many of. And I saw some first Bowman Chrome, some first Bowman paper. So I'm like, well, hey, they're probably not anything spectacular. But still fun nonetheless. In 2016, this looks like 2016 Bowman. I don't think I bought any 2016 Bowman. If I did, it was just maybe a few blasters. I don't know if I bought a hobby box. So I picked up a pile, Anthony Seymour. So this is definitely 2016 Bowman, which I have very little of. Marcos Diplin, Anthony Alford, another Anthony Alford. So he said and he actually marked some junk. So it's stuff that he basically doesn't have. Dominic Smith, that might be worth a quarter. Well, there's 4 of them. Franklin Barreto. So he said that he does current year stuff. You've got to get it listed and sold right off the bat. Otherwise, it's just going to. So I and where he's coming from in terms of needing space. So getting rid of some of this older stuff. And you never know. 2016 is still an era where one of these guys may break out. So I haven't found a first Bowman out of this stack. But Rafael Bautista. So yeah, so it's commons. But what I can do is, I'll set the first side and put them in a box. Some of the other stuff I'll just throw into team boxes and use for trades. This is the cost of a blaster box, and it's going to be fun just going through a box and maybe find some. Look at these inserts. Billy McKinney Fantasy Impact. I might be able to sell that for 99 cents. Christian Arroyo, actually pulled a superfractor of him in 2016, I think, actually. Not Bowman, but it was Topps Chrome. So there's a Chase DeYoung, Dylan Cousins, Justin Dunn. So some inserts, Tyler Beatty, Will Craig, Zach Birdie from the White Sox, 3 of those. So that was cool. So those were some first Bowman. Let's see what else. This must all be 2016, which is great because I don't have hardly any 2016. So look, here's a pile. And if he ever breaks out, Mickey Moniak. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first Bowmans of Mickey Moniak. And he's kind of been a bust. He was the first overall pick and hasn't really done much. And this stack is all first Bowman. Khalil Lee, Braxton Garrett, Anthony Greer of the Diamondbacks, a whole stack of Anthony Greer, Brian Servant. And, most of these guys probably won't pan out, won't reach the big leagues. But you never know. So, wow, these are all first Bowmans. Alexis Torres of the Orioles, Kyle Funkhauser, Yankee, Dom Thompson Williams. So, very cool, $20. So I'll just go through those and set aside. Hopefully there's some Cubs in there. I can add to it. So that's all I had for today. Coming up tomorrow on Hobby Evolution, I don't have a topic yet in my back pocket, but I'll surely think of something. Cubs count 499,601. Am I expecting any packages today? Possibly from my Chronicles break. I was in a team break for the Cubs. So there's maybe 10 cards, 15 cards that I pulled out of that break. That may be here today or Monday. Some of my top loaders that I bought the case of half case of new, got a half case of used coming in today. So that'll get me through at least 2 months. Should get me through 2 months. My eBay bucks came. I earned like $22 in eBay bucks, so may go shopping to use those up. I think I'm gonna target a Cole Roederer, um, like a Bowman Chrome Auto PSA 10. Those are still pretty cheap, so just kind of shop for one of those. So that's all I have for today. Have a wonderful weekend. As always, follow me on Twitter at 1 million Cubs. Check out the website 1millioncubs.com. A lot of that Donruss football has gone into my eBay store, the hits. So check that out. eBay store link is at 1millioncubs.com, top of the page. Buy 3 or more, automatic 10% off at checkout, free shipping on 95% of the items in my store. Have yourselves a great Saturday.